Good morning, members, and welcome to this meeting of the Dumfries Common Good Subcommittee. Can all members please follow the good practice guidance, which includes muting microphones and switching off your video when you're not addressing the meeting, writing speak in the Teams chat function when you want to contribute, and if you're in the hall, you can do this on your iPhone or your iPad. Please don't repeat contributions already made by other members. No material should be posted in the chat function if it's intended as part of the discussion. The usual standing orders apply, including that any votes will be undertaken by roll call. And if any member has to leave the meeting, please either leave the Teams meeting for that period of time or write leave in the Teams chat function and then write join when you rejoin the meeting, so we can keep track of whether the meeting is quorate. All members should speak clearly and directly into the microphone. When making contributions and when referring to reports, please provide reference to the relevant page and paragraph to allow everyone to follow. Please focus contributions on areas where clarification is required or to propose an alternative to a recommendation. Now we go to agenda item number 1, the sediment and apologies. Darren, can you provide the sediment and apologies and please indicate who is participating remotely?
Yes, Chair. Good morning, members. We have 3 members in the chambers, Councillor Little, Councillor Campbell, Councillor Maureen Johnson, and on Teams we have Councillor Bell, Councillor Blake, Councillor Dorward, Councillor Ferguson, Councillor Malcolm Johnson, Councillor Jordan, Councillor Lowe, Councillor Slater, Councillor Walters, and we're waiting for Councillor Stitt to join. I don't think he's with us yet. And we have apologies from Councillor Hislop and Councillor Stevenson.
Councillor Dorward, do you wish to come in?
Good morning, Chair. Thank you. Good morning, members. There's apologies from Councillor Stitt as well. That can be recorded. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Councillor Dorward. Councillor Campbell?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Do we have to make reference, just for the record, that we also have community representatives in the meeting as well?
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Campbell. Yes, we have 1 community representative, Mrs Hastings. Thank you.
Yeah, just on the point of community representatives, I'm just wondering, now that Kingham Quay Community Council have re-established, have they been approached so that they also should be able to take part?
I think they have, but what we'll do is we'll make sure after this meeting that the current established community councils do have a representative.
Thanks, Chair.
So I confirm my agreement to participation of the members named as participating remotely. Now, item number 2, declarations of interest. Do any members have any declaration of interest or a statement of connection? No hands in the room, and I don't see any on the screen. So we'll move on to the minute of the previous meeting of January the 19th, 2024. This minute is for approval. Are we happy to approve the minute? That's all agreed. Thank you. So item number 4. This is the Dumfries Common Good Fund financial report. And Dan Burns is here beside me in the council hall and will take any questions on the report. So do you have anything to add to the report, Dan?
Nothing to add, Chair.
So do members have any questions? Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just a couple of things. I bring it up every time we have the annual financial report, that quite often we sell pieces of property, land from the common good, but we don't actually see the capital receipts. Although saying that, in the appendix, page 13, the other income, which is the sale of the former coach store, George Street, and just for a bit of clarity from Darren, it comes under other income, note 2, and I take it that was the £50,000 that we got from that sales, and if we have got further capital receipts, will that be reflected in future reports? Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, Chair, thanks, Councillor Campbell. Yes, the £50,000 was the income from the sale of the coach house. And yeah, as always, if there are other sales that are agreed by the committee, we would then see that income in future reports. And again, we'll try and make it clear. What we do here is a sort of kind of a summarised version of the accounts, but we'll certainly make sure that we've got income. We're actually sort of kind of putting it in, so you know what's what.
You want to come back in?
If I could, Chair, thanks very much. I welcome what Darren's saying. What my other ask would be that we get sight of the register of what is common good for the Dumfries Common Good Fund, the list of properties that we still have and those that are being brought forward, because we are occasionally finding out that common good or pieces of land and property is common good only when it's up for sale as opposed to being on the register. So I'd welcome a report that we future, that we get that list of what's on the register. Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Campbell, Chair. On our website we have the up-to-date list of what we know is the up-to-date list of assets to do with the common good, but we know that Property Services have previously said that they've been working their way through the various common goods just to confirm the assets, because you're right, there's sometimes there are ones that we're not wholly aware of. We know they're there, but not necessarily the ownership, whether it's council or common good. So that exercise is still to take place, and once that's completed, we'll bring a report back to the committee with a refreshed list.
Yeah, thanks for the reassurance. Thanks, Chair.
So, Darren, will that be updated on the website ongoing?
Yeah, so anything that we're aware of, the website is updated, but I think for members, we'll bring a report back, if that was okay, with them once Property Services has done the review.
That's great, thanks. Councillor Walters.
Morning. Can I just clarify on page 13 about the payment of the grants? I should perhaps know this already, but we were budgeted to pay out £20,000 in grants, and we paid out 4,000. That seems to be quite a large sort of disparity or shortfall. I couldn't see a particular reason why we hadn't paid these sort of grants out. I'm sure there is a reason. Perhaps you could just clarify, Darren.
Thanks, Councillor Walters. As far as I'm aware, I'll ask Darren to come in. I would think that would be due to that's the applications that came in. Am I correct with that, Darren?
Yeah, but the small grant scheme are a very poor showing last year. So it is simply to do with that, Councillor Walters. I think there'll be additional promotion this year to enable that to be have a bigger impact. And I think by agreeing at this in February, having the full financial year to spend monies will be more positive for application. But we were very surprised that of so few applications coming in.
Does that clarify that, Councillor Walters?
I think so. Yeah. It does seem absolutely surprising, doesn't it, in the cost of living crisis that we're unable to dispense the grants that we were hoping for. So perhaps, if we can make sure that we have, good promotion for the next year, if we're going to be doing the same thing, 20,000. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, Councillor Walters. No, you're quite right. I think we need to push that to possibly get better or more applications for that. Any other members have any questions on this report? Again, no hands in the room. Don't see anything. Oh, Councillor Dorward.
Thank you, Chair. I did try to speak, please, in the comments, but I don't know if I'm trying to do the proper thing in terms of mobile tablet use anyway. Councillor Campbell's already raised the issue about assets and an asset register. I think it's really, thanks for doing that, Councillor Campbell, because I would totally support that. I understand that Property Services are, from Darren, thank you for the update, in terms of Property Services are getting this together, but do we have a timescale for that? Because it's almost like we don't know what we don't know, which is a little bit alarming. So we want to know what we want to have a complete clarification on this, and not have any surprises. So are there timescales for that? Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councillor Dorward. I agree that we could do with a timescale, but I think this is a property services. Maybe get in touch with property services and ask if how far along in that process they are, and if they do have a timescale. We don't have one here at the moment, so it's something maybe that we need to reach out and see if there is a timescale for that. Because you're quite correct. I think the sooner we know these things, the better.
Thanks, Chair.
So any other questions? I'll just go to recommendations. So I'll move to the recommendations. Member are asked to, 1, note the financial outturn of the year 2023-24 detailed in appendix, and 2, agree the financial plan for the year 2024-25 as detailed in section 4.3. Now we move on to item number 5, the Dumfries Common Good Fishing Review of 2023. With the fishing season and options for 2024 season. Darren Burns again will also take any questions on this report. Darren, do you have anything to add to the report first?
Chair, just one thing, and in paragraph on section 4.7, I was so keen to give the figure of the rebate, and I took a verbal update on it, which was, and it's been detailed as £5,102.50. The actual rebate total is still 75%, but the amount we will pay is £7,507.50. So that's just an error in my part.
Thanks for that, Darren. So what does that leave us with? No, that's for next year anyway, so that's fine. Do members have any questions now on this? Councillor Campbell.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Just taking on board what Darren was saying. I mean, we've just agreed the financial report, so if that 5,102.50 is now 7,500, if I'm picking you up right, Darren, that should have been reflected in the financial report that we just agreed.
Yep, you're absolutely right. But in the sense of the fishing income, is still envisaged to be more than our sort of kind of projected financial plan. If you look at the fishing costs for 24-25, what we've agreed is £9,000, because what we tend to do is to look at expenditure, what we think the rebate will be, and there's additional fishing costs, whether there may be some maintenance works required. So for the next financial year, we've budgeted £9,000 expenditure. So it still covers the £7,000 assessment fee, and maybe a couple of £1,000 for maintenance.
Yep, thanks, Chair.
So what we're looking at here is the options as well, members. We have the option to, let's see what page we have. Page 18. We have a couple of options here. We can either stay with the status quo with the current ticket prices, or we have an option to rise these ticket prices. Do members have any comments or feelings about this particular part of the paper? Councillor Campbell.
Sorry for being a pain, Chair. Yeah, I mean, in the past, quite often we get the report, and we base our costings on either similar beats along the Nith and the Cairn. You know, I've got one here from Drumlanrig fishing 2024 prices, and looking at some of the cost for the tickets, whether it's a season ticket or a day ticket, some of them are actually quite cheaper than what even our existing, excuse me, our existing 2023 prices, which is in Table 2, and the option to increase, which is the table below that. It looks as if even that's going even further apart from what you know, places like Drumlanrig. So I'm just wondering, did we actually talk to the other sort of beats that are incorporated in the Nith Salmon Fisheries Board to see how they're pitching their prices to come up with this particular table. Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Campbell, Chair. We do keep an eye on what other beats are charging. We typically look at our neighbouring beat, the Anglers, the Dumfries Galloway Anglers Association, and we've historically been more expensive than them. The proposal, for the increase is based on our previously agreed methodology, but as Councillor Little's saying, that the options there, you can retain 2023's prices, and we perhaps would see either the same income of just under £9,000 from this year, or perhaps an increase, or we look at the increase as we normally do, and again, we would expect a sort of kind of similar return. So I think it's entirely the gift of members.
Thanks, Darren. Do you have a view on this, Councillor Campbell?
Well, thanks, Chair, for letting me back in. I am concerned, especially when I look at page 23 in the appendix there, and the number of tickets, that are being distributed are reducing all the time. So it's a worry that if we keep putting prices up and we're not comparing other like beats along the river, for example, if they're going to be cheaper, like Drumlanrig, for example, or others, and then people are just going to go with the reasonable price beats. If they want to do a bit of day's fishing and it's only another mile up the road, they're just going to go to these places, whether it's Friars Cars or whatever. So I'm concerned about that. I haven't particularly got a view as yet, but I would probably be erring on keeping the prices the same to encourage, more anglers to purchase a licence. It's just my thoughts at the moment, but I'm happy to hear others on the common good, see what their thoughts are. Thanks, Chair.
Yep, Chair, thanks. The information I have is ticket sales in all beats have reduced, quite significantly over the last year from the discussions with the Fishery Board. We have a very good beat, the Dumfries Common Good fishing waters, and I'm not saying that's why it has a premium. That's not the reason for it. It's just in the sense of the methodology that we've applied over the years, and I think it's been. It's not been a great season for fishing. I'm told. I'm saying I'm told because I'm not an expert in fishing. So yeah, I think members' choice here is clearly, do you want to keep it where the cost as it is, and close some of the margins between the other beats, or increase. We've always tried to balance, in a sense, of projected sales with our expenditure, and we've been successful over the years in doing that, and that's mostly wholly down to the huge rebate in recent years we've been given by the Fishery Board, and we've spoken at many committees over the years and seminars that if our income continues at £9,000 and the rebate is suddenly lessened, there is that uneconomic factor of the fishing waters, and it would mean that for the committee to continue with fishing, we would have to subsidise it, and that may be the choice of committee, and it's something that we've talked about. But I do think it's up to members if you say, look, this year let's keep them where they are, or I'll go for the increase.
Thanks, Darren. Councillor Campbell, do you wish to come back in?
Yeah, just on another point, because we're kind of tied to what the Nith Salmon Fishery Board dictates to all beats, it's not just ours, I mean, we do have a representative. I mean, I think the last time it was Councillor Lowe, but I don't know who our representative is at the moment. And, you know, have they had any meetings with the Nith Salmon Fishery Board and any information that's been brought back? Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. That representative of the council is Councillor Hislop, who isn't present at the meeting today. But I've been told by Darren he is attending all these meetings, so. But he's not in the meeting today to be able to answer.
Yeah, as long as we've got somebody there representing us and putting our case forward to the Nith Salmon Fishery Board. Thanks.
Yes, we do. Councillor Slater.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Looking at page 21 on ticket sales, over the years, the first way came down to a third of what they were. Obviously, putting the prices up is not always the answer. If you put the prices up, these sales might go down again. The other thing is as well, there used to be fish in the Nith. And unfortunately now, if you walk up beside the Nith, you hardly see a fish at all. So fish stocks are obviously still depleting. One of the reasons that is because of runoff from farms and things like that, and chemicals in the water. And that is having a major effect on our rivers nationwide. Also the fact that sewage is spilled into waters as well. So I think really that if you're looking at costings, you really should probably keep them at the same and hope that the ticket sales actually go up. Thank you.
Thank you for that contribution, Councillor Slater. We've had two comments just now, probably leaning more towards keeping ticket sales at a status quo. Do we have any other members otherwise minded?
I've got my hand up, Chair.
No hand up on the screen, Councillor Ferguson, but you come in now.
Well, I've actually been using the good practice guidance and written in the chat function to say I would like to speak. It was a metaphorical hand.
Sorry, Councillor Ferguson, it's only just came up on the screen. It seems to have a little bit of a lag, but come in now.
Oh, well, it's a long distance with Terreggle Street to the town centre. That's what it is. Right, we're looking at two things here. There is a third alternative that might be a better happy way. But I'm looking here at the chart, how the makeup of the tickets are allocated. I think I've got it right. There's only 15 visitor tickets in a year. The vast majority of tickets we issue are to locals, whatever things. So there is potentially a third option, which is like a hybrid of the two, which would be to leave the Nithsdale resident and the daily tickets and season tickets for Nithsdale residents as is for next year, but increase the ones for the visitors to the recommended level in the option for season 24. Because the visitors are either coming or not. As David Slater just said, they're not coming because there's fantastic fishing on the Nith. It's probably something that they're actually doing when they're here. Some might be coming for it, but at the end of the day, this is a common good. This is for the people of the borough, right? And if visitors are coming and want to pay it, then if they'll pay the extra two, 3 quid, whatever it is. I'm looking here, 250 to 267. We're talking £16, £15.50 over a year. You follow me? So, I mean, I'm not going to die in a ditch over this, but I just think that you can actually have a third hybrid that would keep the prices static for the residents, and that includes easy access and juniors. But then look at the 24 option for the visitor tickets. I don't know if I've got a seconder for that, but I'd be happy to move if that was if somebody would second me.
Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. That's an interesting, take on it. But just to add to that quite often the visitor tickets are regional, they are local, they're just outside the borough residents, so it's not quite coming into the region. fair amount of them are just outside the borough and no more. I think Councillor Lowe wishes to come in. Oh no, she just came out. Withdraw, right. So would you like to have a seconder for that, Councillor Ferguson, or?
If somebody was prepared to second it, I'd be prepared to move that, yeah.
Yes, Chair. I could probably support that because it is for the residents that stay within the borough. And if visitors come in, quite often they will, if they want to fish, they will pay a little bit extra money because they come in here on holiday and think, well, and they're not going to quibble about £2 or £3 at the end of the day. So I could kind of agree with what Andy's saying there, that a little bit more for visitors and they keep the residents at the same cost to try and get the price ticket sales to go back up again. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Slater. But just to remind members, it's not just the borough. This is, I think it was changed. Darren just reminded me that it was changed some time ago. That's Nithsdale residents, so it's kind of wider, just wider than the borough. Councillor Campbell, do you wish to come in?
Yeah, I take on board what Councillor Ferguson says, Chair, because again, I'm looking at the Drumlanrig fishing. For a season ticket for visitors, it's £300 compared to as 2023 is 251 going up to 267. So even at 267 is still well below what you would pay at Drumlanrig. The residents, because they also have a discount up there, you know, for their residents, they only pay £150 as opposed to our 2023 resident, which is £166. So if Councillor Ferguson's saying keep those ones as is, so that doesn't go up but increase the season tickets, I'm happy to second his motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. So we have 3 members with that view. Any other members otherwise minded? Not sure, Councillor Ferguson, that we need to take this to a vote, so it seems to be that there is a consensus in the room, in the virtual room, that we increase the prices as stated in the option in page 18 for visitors, but residents and easy access, etc., and youth all remain status quo. We can do that. Yeah. Okay, that seems to be agreed. Can I ask members if they're also agreeing with the continuation of the Sunday fishing only and grayling only tickets to extend the fishing season and agree that ticket price? Do members have any comments on that or just wish to agree or disagree? Silence came the answer. No issues with that. So okay, I think I'll just move to recommendations then. So can members are asked to note that 8,997 of income was generated from fishing ticket sales for the 2023 season, as detailed at paragraph 4.1, and the breakdown of the ticket sales in Appendix 1. Review the catch return data for 2023 season as detailed at paragraph 4.8 and in Appendix 2. And note the conservation status of the 2024 season will be again category 3, resulting in mandatory catch and release of salmon as detailed in section 4.4. Consider and agree the 2024 regulations outlined in section 4.11 and contained in the draft Dumfries Common Good Fishing Regulations. Consider the options and agree the fishing ticket prices for 2024 season as outlined in section 4.20, which we have agreed to keep the status quo of all tickets apart from the season visitor tickets, which will be increased to £267 and £8.50 for juniors. And I think the easy access for that is the same, isn't it, as the residents?
Yeah, easy access is just for visitors.
Yes. Okay. Right, and to agree to continue with Sunday fishing only and grayling only tickets to extend the fishing season and agree the ticket price as detailed in section 4.18. And I have no other items or urgent business and would like to thank everyone for your attendance and for your contributions. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chair.
Chair.